How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick breakdown of the natural gas report, going over specific numbers from that report, as well as giving you guys my opinions on natural gas itself, as well as UGAZ and DGAZ, and which one I'm favoring here in the short term over these next couple of trading days here in the stock market. So before we do get into that, all I ask from you is if you enjoy this video, simply go down below for me and hit that like button. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see further content from me. And if you haven't joined the Strive Smart Discord group chat or the Strive Smart Facebook group quite yet, those are linked down below in the description box and are 100% free of charge. So without further ado, guys, let's just talk about it and hop in here, starting off with natural gas. The natural gas futures, and the particular ones that I'm looking at here are the February futures. And for those of you guys that don't know, the ticker symbol on that is /NGG20. So clearly, guys, on the 4-hour chart, the 6-month chart here, and mostly over these past 2 to 3 months, natural gas has been getting slaughtered. It's been getting hammered, selling off lower low after lower low, and we all know at this point why this has been happening. But for those of you guys that don't know, well, we have a lot of production of natural gas compared to last year, and with that, we actually have a more mild winter, which means there's not a lot of demand being stimulated. Thus, we're not using enough natural gas, and we already have a ton of production on top of that, which is why the prices are being pushed down. And last year, we had the inverse happen. We didn't have enough production. We had a very cold winter, and that is why we saw the natural gas prices explode, and we saw UGAZ do extraordinary well last year. So it's funny how from last year the pages have flipped, the script has flipped, as they say, and DGAZ has been the winner overall so far in this winter that we've been seeing. And since last week's video, you know, the downtrend has continued. And if you guys watched my video last Saturday, I said DGAZ is most likely going to be the play here for the next couple of days, and that's exactly what ended up happening. Last Saturday, we saw natural gas was roughly around these levels here, I believe 220, maybe 218, 220, right around here, right under that 180 SMA, and with the fundamentals that we've been seeing, warmer weather, especially last week heading into the prior week that we just experienced, I figured that we weren't going to break out of this level. And what did we see? We saw the sell-off, we saw the rejection under that 180 SMA, which we've seen that's been a resistance over the past couple of weeks, and now we've actually broken below 210 and roughly 208, which is another level of support here, and we're actually creeping back into the dollar range here on natural gas, which is absolutely crazy. And this is setting up very similar to different setups that we've had in the past, and we've played these very accurately, it seems like, at least I have, over the past couple of weeks. And the setup here is natural gas is ridiculously oversold. Can we agree on that? You know, we haven't seen a red candlestick in sight here. You know, the RSI is very oversold. It's below 30. It's actually creeping into the 20s now, mid-20s to be exact. And it seems like every time it's done this, and I've talked about this in my UGAZ and DGAZ and natural gas videos over the past couple of weeks here, every time it's done this, it's consolidated and it's bounced back up and it's gotten to a healthier range where, you know, it goes closer to the moving averages, being that 50 SMA and that 180 SMA, and the RSI gets to healthier ranges. So am I saying that we're going to skyrocket back up from here just like that? Probably not. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is we may, sure, fall down a little bit more. We may see some consolidation, but ultimately I think we will end up seeing a push back up, maybe to 205, maybe to 210 again. But from there, I still think the downtrend is going to be continuing. Like I've been mentioning in these videos, I'm looking to short every natural gas rally, and that's proven to be the strategy here. That's been working. Every time it's rallied, if you shorted it at that point, you've made money, kind of like I talked about in last Saturday's video. So we see the trend here on natural gas, and I personally think it can rally back up, which means UGAZ, ticker symbol UGAZ, will be potentially here, could be the favorable one for a bounce back play. So now, before we get too deep into the technicals here, let's break down what the natural gas report actually, came out as, what the numbers were this past Thursday. And it's kind of interesting the way that, natural gas reacted to this report due to it being more of a bullish report, believe it or not. So we can see here, based on the different regions, the East, Midwest, Mountain, and etc., we can see, starting off with the East here, we actually had a 40 BCF withdrawal, and in the Midwest, we actually had a 34 BCF withdrawal comparing to, the last week's storage report. In the Mountain region, we had a -5, so a 5 BCF withdrawal. In the Pacific, we had a 9 BCF withdrawal, and in the South Central region, we had a 21 BCF withdrawal, salt being a 3 BCF withdrawal, and non-salt being a 18 BCF withdrawal, and the total net change being a 109 BCF withdrawal from the previous week. And why am I saying this is a bullish report? Because typically for these reports, guys, we have analysts that say, okay, next week we might have this region or this range of BCF withdrawal, maybe this range. So this week, the consensus, the range was around, I believe, 80 to a 90 BCF withdrawal. So the fact that we came above that is why it is a bullish report, right? Just from that particular metric, 109 BCF withdrawal. And we can see down here on the summary, working gas in storage was 3,039 BCF as of Friday, January 10th, 2020. This represents a net decrease of 109 from the previous week, like we just mentioned, and the stocks were 494 BCF higher than they were last year at this time, and 149 BCF above the 5-year average of 2890. At 3039 BCF, total working gas is within the 5-year historical range. So 5-year historical range, we're within that. But back to what I said a couple minutes ago, the stocks are 494 BCF higher than they were last year, and there's not enough demand, which is why, again, these prices are falling down here. So back over to the ThinkOrSwim platform to talk about some technicals and why this is kind of interesting, because we saw that bullish report, and yet natural gas, on the 5-day, 5-minute, it actually ended up tanking after it reported those numbers. UGAZ in particular, which again tracks natural gas in a sense, UGAZ ended up dumping, and if we go back to natural gas, NGG20 again is the ticker symbol on this one. When those numbers came out, this ended up, was it this day? Let me double check so I'm not making a mistake here. Yes, it was on this day, the 16th. We actually popped. That was the initial rally here, which probably was from that bullish report, but it didn't last, guys. It ended up falling down. It ended up, again, like we mentioned, breaking 210, 208, and now all the way down to the 199 level. So for me, again, I'm looking to maybe go long here, UGAZ, for a bounce back play, but I'm looking to eventually short that rally. So now that we kind of talked about that, went over some specific numbers and kind of what I personally want to do, actually, let's take a look at DGAZ very quickly. Then we'll talk about some weather here, and you can see my point reiterated here. DGAZ, the move was last week. If you didn't make this move last week, it's not a good opportunity in my personal opinion. We talked about it last week on this dip, and it already made the move. It's already up to 233, very overextended. So watch for that pull down, watch for the natural gas little mini rally, and then short the rally. That's what I'm personally doing. Don't do that. I'm not telling you to do that, right? Look at it from my opinion and then make your own opinion and understand why you're making that opinion before you do anything. But don't just do something simply because somebody else is doing it or somebody else has an opinion around that, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Watch the little dump here on DGAZ. That's what I really think is going to happen here. Now, let's break down some weather from natgasweather.com that shows there is some cold weather that's creeping up here in the middle of this week, I believe. Then it's going to start to get more mild. So from January 17th to the 23rd, a strong weather system will track out of the west and into the central U.S. today with areas of rain and snow, while chilly behind the cold front with highs of 10s to 30s. The east has cooled after a cold shot raced through Thursday, followed by rain and snow increasing this weekend as the central U.S. storm arrives. Much stronger demand is on tap for early next week as reinforcing cold shots follow across the Midwest and East with lows of 0s to 20s, including 20s and 30s into the South and Southeast. Warming will spread across much of the U.S. late next week with highs of 30s and 50s across the northern U.S., 60s and 70s across the southern U.S. for light national demand. Overall, moderate demand through Sunday, high Monday through Wednesday, then low late next week. So that is an interesting thing here, and I can attest to that right now. It's very, very freezing in New Jersey. I believe, for here at least, it was about 20 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind chill wasn't that high, which is why it didn't seem too bad. But at the end of the day, last weekend, it was about 60 degrees, and this weekend here, it's about 20 degrees. So that goes to show, yes, it's been getting a bit colder here. We are seeing a bit of a cold shot, at least here on the East Coast, but it does say that, again, the demand will slowly get lighter, and I have been reading some weather models that do show that over these next couple of weeks, which is why, again, that goes back to my theory of shorting these natural gas rallies. And I've seen analysts, and you guys have seen it too, analysts projecting a $1.50 price target on natural gas to the low end from what I've personally seen. And I've seen ends of maybe a $1.80 on natural gas. So based on those projections, estimates, there still is downside here. So it's worth taking it into consideration. So overall, guys, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to go down below for me, hit that like button. Also, consider subscribing if you want to see further content like this, and let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on DGAZ, UGAZ, natural gas? Do you agree with maybe trading UGAZ this week on a bit of a bounce back play and then shorting that rally, or do you think I'm crazy for thinking that? Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and if you haven't quite yet claimed your 2 free stocks from Webull valued up to $1,400, I have an affiliate link down below where if you use my link, deposit $100 using it, you get those 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400, which is free money at the end of the day, and you can claim those down below in the description box. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks again for watching. As always, peace out.